And the Steelers set to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
And incomplete on the deep ball. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can make a play on the football.
This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Roethlisberger will throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Deion Jones coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown from 10 yards out. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And now running right through it. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now, there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Offside defense.
And yes, they want the point, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds more?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
And there's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds a number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. The left side completion to Jones. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Caught by Sanu. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times because you have your assignments to block, but if you could see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are a bit.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay him.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Now it's Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200+ right now. So jumping from his free safety spot.
That tells you how aggressive they are on defense, doesn't it? They get everyone involved. He was a little too fast on that play.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And he stopped immediately there. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole
first down.
lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. But I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of